What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, club swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. The Bulls are feeling good, so if you're bullish, you're probably feeling all right. But glad to see everybody piling in the house. We got Albert. Good morning to you. We got Anna. Good morning. Good morning to Andy. We got another Andy. Andy number two. Good morning to Bill, Diane, Georgia. Good morning to Jay, Jeffrey, Kevin, Lauren, Martina. Tim is in the house. All my people out in YouTube land, Santilla. All my lurkers in the background. Just not gonna say anything. That's okay. I still love you. It's all right. Just hit that like and subscribe button. Luca's in the house. Good morning to Luca as well. Yeah. Tim saying TLT joining the party finally. Actually, that one's looking kind of interesting today for TLT, but so is for the most part, everything in a bullish direction. It's very tough to find a bear today for some reason. Strong gap up on futures last night. It just would not come down, and very, very interesting level. So the only thing we're really battling on the SPY is that 600 psychological number. We've been there before. We've been there today. I think the high of today, intraday, was 600.04 on the SPY. So we'll see if we get above that level. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So the entire week of buying last week. Obviously, anytime we had those dips, those retests, the bulls came in, throwing in some impressive wicks. The gap today on the SPY is pretty incredible. We are above, and again, do we open and fly past that 600? I don't know. That's debatable. But I would be looking for maybe a 595.58 as some kind of support. Maybe we get down to 598. I almost don't even want a full on retest. I think that would devalue this gap. I think a little bit in the bullish direction. So we're still kind of sitting. Maybe we have a double top, all that great stuff. I think we break through. I think we break through. I think we probably get a little bit of profit taking out of the gate. Somebody that held something over the weekend, you're getting a pretty nice gap. You're going to want to lock some gains. But let's see if we can hold. I guess if we go one lower, I'll give it like the final level, 597.31. So let's see if we can hold that on any type of pullbacks. We might not even get to that point. We'll see. But yeah, I think we continue bullish. I don't think this gap gets filled today. I'll be surprised if we do. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. But then we're gonna have to kick it off to Tuesday, Wednesday. This is Thanksgiving week, so markets are closed on Thursday. We get very little volume on Wednesday. Wednesday, we're probably only gonna be running the room till probably 11, 10, 10:30, 11, something like that. It's gonna be a very, very slow day. And then volume in the morning Friday. Friday's a half day, closes at 1, but volume in the morning is usually pretty good, but then it tapers off pretty quickly Friday as well. So we'll see how long we're pushing on Friday for, but we will see. Otherwise, pretty good gap up and see if some of those levels hold. Otherwise, every single VPOC in the history of the SPY is now being taken out if we open up right where we're at. So that is very, very bullish. Very bullish. We got Qs. Has a little bit more work to do. We're not quite there on the Qs. Doesn't mean we can't get there, but you are starting to push into a pretty decent resistance from the 14th. So that's going to get me up to 510.74 if we could break through, which technically we have a little retest from Friday, but that was just inside this candle, which is red. Technically still a little retest as well. Qs, I think, would be more likely to have some kind of a pullback. We'll see what happens. But if we can start cracking through this 510.74 level, the next one up, I got 512.42, and then a really strong resistance, 513.53. So at any point during this week, probably one higher, but any point during this week, we start opening above 514. I think Qs are off to the races too. But you have a little bit more likely chance of a deeper pullback on Qs, and maybe SPY pulls back a little bit, hangs out, and then maybe they kind of get on the same page together and start pushing. But regardless, good move if you held anything bullish over the weekend. Tim says TLT is joining the party. Yep. Futures on bonds last night, we were right underneath this 20 EMA. I was like, all right, it's a good gap, kind of mini double bottom, good consolidation. We're still, at least last night, we were still inside this candle from the 13th. So we had to break above that. We had to break above this 20 that could give us some pressure. By the morning today, we got above all of that. So looks good. I need to see a little bit more. I think if we can start closing past like 92, 92.62, somewhere up in that zone, I think then that confirms the rally, at least to probably like 93.85. We get held up a little bit, and then let's see if we get some continuation out of this one. We do have some gaps open up to 97. TLT does move a little strange, but otherwise, that's a fairly good gap just into a monster resistance for now. So I'd be curious to see where we close today, and then I guess for this week, and we'll see if we get some more follow through on that. But otherwise, not bad. I know Trump picked his new Treasury guy, so billionaire guy. So not bad. We'll see what happens. Um, volume, that was a lot of volume on a bullish candle, but that was technically a gap down. Bullish volume there, and then any other, we got some decent volume on some of those candles. So very interesting spot. We'll see if that one will continue to rally as well. Amat is joining the party, my beloved Amat. Oh, by the way, I'll throw a link in the chat too. When I did log into TradingView, they did tell me they have the promotions for TradingView. I think it was probably one of the better ones I've seen. So it's 70% off. They do have their Black Friday special. So if you guys use TradingView, you guys can click that link. That would also get you another $15 off of that. But I think it's like seven. The one I did was I have the maximum package. So that one at least was really the only one I looked at, but that was like 70% off. If you guys already have TradingView, I believe the way they do it is if you do take advantage of their deal, that just kind of extends to as soon as your package ends. So throwing it out there, if you're usually this is the time I'm always buying TradingView because they always have that Black Friday special. So I'd rather just pay the discount price than not. And then again, that link in the chats that I haven't seen them do the referral code before, so that get you an extra $15 off as well. So up to you, but probably not a bad idea if you do plan to continue to trade. Yeah, I do buy the live data too. The live data that I have is I forget how to go and see it. I got the Nasdaq. I got the what is it? The CM. If someone could help me out of the three that we use, Art was it Arca maybe? Uh, no, it's not an affiliate link. Yeah, when you check out, you guys could all get your own link too. So if you guys use the link, you'll get $15. So if somebody signs up, yeah, I get $15 off or to their services or whatever, however they do it. I have no idea. I haven't seen it before. But then they should give you your own link. So if you share it too, you'll get $15 as well. But you'll also get $15 on sign up as well, which is decent. Even if you don't share the link with anyone. But yeah, there is three. I forget which one. Lucian, you probably know which the three is. But yeah, there's three of them that for live data that we have, and it's like $2 a month for each one. And I think I just pay it all annually too, so it's not like a monthly thing. Does TradingView have a discount for RLT members? They don't. No. No, nothing additional, but the code, and I'm just on a tangent now. I realize I've gotten off track. But yeah, no, there's no special discount. But during Black Friday, that's when I purchase every single time. So just throwing that out there for you guys. That is all. All right. AMAT. That's where we were before I got completely distracted. But AMAT, yeah, just as I was moving, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I did that. I had to do that today. AMAT, yeah, okay, gap. Okay, gap. Uh it is a gap and go from Friday, so that's interesting. This one is my nemesis, so I'm gonna have a negative view all the time on AMAT because it just trades sideways every time I'm in it. It moves like 3 pennies back and forth. When I'm not in it though, so I'll tell you right now, I'm probably not getting in this one today. So you guys are free to trade this one, and I'm sure it's gonna fly. You do have room up to 180.90 if you like it. Extended target for this one would be 183.62. While I say it's just an okay gap for me, it does look bullish. It looks like we're gonna try. I have pretty big resistance, all the way up to like 177.14, and then I have even the VPOC from Thursday that's sitting pretty much right where we're opening. So if this one can open a little bit higher, I'd like it a little bit more. Otherwise, I think the better way to try to play this one, especially being that it's my nemesis for me, would just be, and I think we do okay with it. We're just boring. I don't know. I just get bored. But maybe if you see a little pullback, you get back down to this 174.47. We know the Qs are also at a little bit of a retest spot too. So not bad on that one. But if we get a small little pullback, that gets you some better risk reward, and then maybe you have a better shot on number two to break out if we don't gap up past some of those resistance and we have decent amount of time left. Uh yeah, the Nasdaq. No, yeah, I don't have all those. I have the Nasdaq, I have the ARCA, and I think I have the NYSE. I think those are the three. I don't know the other ones. AAPL. Nope. AAPL. Yeah, AMD looks interesting. Hmm. Apple, decent gap up again. Qs are the only ones that are kind of running into a little bit of resistance. You do have some resistance somewhere at 231.84. And then this is a retest gap too. So I don't know if I would be buying this one out of the gate. Extended targets, if we could get through probably 131.84. Next target up will take us to 234.02. Apple got a big part of that retail. And like we just talked about, we do have Black Friday this week. And then we head directly into the holiday season. Some people might want to be buying some new phones or iPads or computers or whatever else people buy from Apple. But the earbud things, those are cool. Airbuds, the dog that plays basketball. But this one should be a retest. I'd be careful out of this one. Let's see if I can get some kind of a pullback. The real spot I would love to get it is as close as possible to 229.51. I'd be okay jumping in a little bit sooner, maybe like 229.90 if it does a full retest. But I would see if we could get a mini retest at least. PLTR. Yeah, I know there's a way in the settings I can see which ones I have, but I don't know how to get there. I do it so I infrequently, and I just hit the renew button. Palantir got an up. It wasn't an upgrade, but it was a price target upgrade from Dan Ives. So that one price target $75 from Dan Ives. Market is loving Palantir pretty much all the time. Starting, I guess, somewhere in the vicinity of December 2022, we've been on a pretty straightforward rampage. Nothing really stopping us above us. Again, the only thing is this is a little bit of a retest gap, gapping into new all-time highs. Valuation probably a little extended. That being said, it does not mean this thing cannot run. As you guys in the retail world are loving Palantir, but I wouldn't be again probably for me not the best spot to jump in. If you get a pullback specifically down to like 64.41, that would be an interesting attempt to try. By the way, if this market closes and all these things are like throwing in bearish engulfing candles, I don't think it will. But then going into Tuesday, Wednesday is going to get a little interesting. I don't think that's the case. I think this market very very bullish, really good gap up. If we see some red by the end of the day, that red probably lands us into some of those kind of previous support, and then Tuesday, Wednesday we push. But if we get closes anywhere past like 61.42 on Palantir, maybe you get that pullback. But this is a really really bullish gap. Again, tough to get a really good risk reward. Maybe if we play around with pre-market levels, which right now we are right into a VPOC as well. I'd want at least a pullback to 66.25. I'm just coming up with pre-market levels and then stop somewhere around 65.17. But I'd give it a minute. We're just rampaging, but you do have those higher price targets too. Let's take a look real quick at AMD, and then you guys are just yelling at me for Tesla. We got Nvidia, we got Coin. Until says my Palantir 20 strike leaps is up 800%. Yeah, I know. I'm happy with Palantir because it's up a lot, but I do have cover calls at $65 for December 20th, so that might be all she wrote for me on Palantir. We'll see. I might have to give those shares away, probably to Santilla. We got AMD looks really, really good. Really interesting, at least. Again, not the strongest one in the market, but I think we were pretty good about the wave count. So far, it's playing out pretty decent. One, two, three, four, five. This I would say is your ABC, and then if it's going to go, it's probably not a bad attempt. And we are gapping above that little ABC today as well. You got a couple of high waves in there. We're gapping above all those. We got a couple of decent VPOCs we're taking out on this one too. My question is, how bullish is this thing going to be? I don't know. Next target though takes us to 141.63. We could do a little bit with that. The bigger target I'd want to try to get to would take me to 142.90. If I can get a small pullback here, let's see. Small pullback to like 140.58. Maybe we could land this 139.91. For a swing trade potential, I think it's a little clearer. I would take probably the 140.50 zone. Stop would be somewhere around 133.50. And then if we do just push back in a bullish direction, we were all looking at this support. So we're down at that support and getting a nice little gap up after consolidation. So I'm gonna move this one. Yeah, I already got this one high on my list from pre-market. But yeah, I do like AMD a lot. The only challenge is gonna be some of those resistance zones, but if we are as strong as the market claims to be today, that could be fairly decent. We got Nvidia. Uh, Nvidia. You are opening at a little support. I don't know if today's the Nvidia day. I might be dead wrong about that because every day is Nvidia day. You have an impressive gap on overall markets. We've been struggling around here. We're still sitting in this high wave candle. The only thing I would say is you do have some decent risk reward to a bullish direction. I think getting some kind of stops, not the best spot, but decent, but somewhere around 140.63. Otherwise, you have not come down to retest this 140.04 zone. But with that being said, too, I think we're just in a little sideways chop. Still need some of those moving averages to catch up. Targets to the bullish direction. If we get some buying, I would probably pull the plug at 143.51 if it gets back up there. Um, Otherwise, you're not really getting that same kind of. Even AMD is getting a much nicer gap than Nvidia. So Nvidia might not be the play today. I think it probably needs to chop for a little bit longer. But you do have some risk reward in a bullish direction if you must take it. I would want to see the stock open somewhere above probably 142.15 for me to think that. Otherwise, I would be kind of holding out to see if I could catch it closer to 140, which would be an interesting price as well. Tesla. Mm. Yeah, I would just the answer is bullish. Then figure out how you want to get in. As soon as we started breaking out of, and we saw this, it didn't even. This is how strong Tesla was. We finally broke out 3-4 days consolidation, made a nice push, absolutely crushing bullish, and then did not even want to pull back at all. So I know some traders were trying to figure out if this thing could fade. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I would play that for the fade, but yeah, this is breaking out of another little daily consolidation. Really good gap today. Again, it is a retest gap if you're trying to get it. And again, it's not all-time highs, but 52-week highs for sure. Above all of that action, all of that momentum is to the bull side. I wouldn't be surprised if the market opens and this one does put in a decent green candle. I think I'd want to see a retest back into this 353 for a better trade. So that's still $7, $8, $9 away. But if we could get that pullback, great. Otherwise, I'm probably missing it this one. But if you're in this thing, that is the exact candle you wanted to see. Great closing on that VPOC, even though you do have that upper wick. And then today you're just loving life for this open. But I wouldn't be shocked if you get some people taking profits. And again, the Qs itself does look like it might have a little more potential pullback. I don't want to short it. I there's $9 down to my target as to where I'd like to go bullish, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go bearish on it. So I'll let it play out. If there's any interesting candles or another opportunity intraday to go bullish, I'm going to take it. But Well, real price is somewhere close to that 353. So it feels pretty far away at this point, but terrific gap on Tesla for sure. I got Coinbase in there too. Coinbase. And again, Bitcoin struggling. Not, I mean, for what it is, it's up like 100 something% for the year. So I'm going to use the word struggle loosely, but it's struggling to hit that 100K. We spent the entire weekend just watching to see it. Didn't happen. So you have some front runners. You have a big psychological hold number on Bitcoin. Coinbase, you're just kind of in this chop. So I do like the fact, and on this one, I would see if you like it bullish, I would see if we get something in the 309.05 for an entry to the bull side. If you like it bearish, 316.21, probably play between those ranges. It's not a huge move. I don't see it breaking out today. Doesn't mean it can't. Um, and Bitcoin is still high, and this one is consolidating. So again, at the moment, I would like to play it more bullish than bearish, but I'd be concerned about the range, I guess, on Coinbase for today. All right, let's see. We got Amazon. Jeff Bezos was still selling, by the way. Mm-hmm. Yep. If you guys go to like secforum4.com, type in Amazon. Bezos is still selling, so we still have the Bezos wall. I think they did have some news on quantum computing today. Quantum computing stocks rally following launch of Amazon Web Services Quantum Embark program. So they have some news on it. I don't know if Bezos is done selling, and that's going to drive that next wall. So be careful with this one until I know that Bezos is pretty much done selling, and he's got a ton of shares. So who knows? But targets to the bull side, it is a gap and go. I would almost want to see this one because I'm a little concerned about that target just getting taken out by Bezos or that brick wall creating by Bezos at least. Target for me takes me to 201.49. That doesn't give me a huge amount of room. So even though it's a gap and go, I think I'd want to see this one also pull back, come back into this 198.63 zone, maybe 197.48, but he's still selling, so you're still gonna have that monster just trying to get some more shares out of his own hands into yours. So be careful of that. But otherwise, I think if it wasn't for the Bezos effect, this thing probably is sitting at 220 today. So we shall see. SMCI, and then I got ARM on the list too. SMCI. Yep, pretty good gap on this one. Again, I have December 20th, $44 cover calls. I wouldn't mind getting taken out there, to be honest. For a good move, longer term investment. Again, it all comes down to, is this going to be delisted or not? And I think at the moment we're avoiding that delisting conversation. So we'll see. Fairly good gap. If this thing comes into a full retest, look for 32.75. You're going to get some pressure from that 50 EMA. Otherwise, I'd start watching this one probably somewhere close to 33.67. I would be actually okay with a high wave candle on this one, even if we don't come down for a full retest. You got some good momentum. Market looks strong. Retailers probably jumping back into this one. Initial target to the higher side. If we could break that 50 EMA, it takes me to 38.91. And then I do have room up to like 41.54. So we'll see how this one plays out. But I'd be okay with I think we can make it's if it's going to go, it's going to get that momentum in it. But I'd want to see at least a high wave. Give me some profit taking from at least 2 days of buying. If we're not going to consider that buying, otherwise you got 3 or 4. So we'll see. But looks interesting. ARM, good gap on ARM. Again, another retail favorite. Palantir is pushing. That could help out ARM a little bit too. A little almost sympathy. Very close to it. Doesn't relate all the way, but kind of. Resistance on this one, 139.02. You also have that 100 and also the 20 EMAs staring you down in the face in a bullish direction. Again, probably pull back. There's a lot more pullbacks than I would really love to see, but again, big move already just as we open. I think kind of almost being a little patient. After kind of running through a lot of these stocks, seems like the play for me. APP. App loving. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. This one looks completely interesting. Again, it is another retest, but it is also gapping above that last little pivot. We are above all VPOCs as well. This one I would highly consider a high wave candle at open. Support on this one, we'll see where it wants to pull back to, but 336.31 would be a great spot. Otherwise, I wouldn't mind some kind of high wave candle on that one. We'll get that one pretty high on that list. Lucian says I pay 108 per year for NSE ARC. Yeah, for those three, NSE ARC, yeah, so $2 a month. Yeah, $36 each. Yep, that's what it would come out to. Yep. Yeah, they just charged me one. I saw it the other day. We were live, and then they asked me for like the updated information or whatever. So I just hit OK, and then they did charge me like 127, and now they're like, yeah, we have a deal. I'm like, what was that 127 for? But that might have been the live data actually. All right, let me see what we're missing. We got SoFi, SOFI. SoFi Technologies, great gap up. I do have which I kind of don't even want to put in, but it is a smart thing to do. I do have a sell for 3 of my contracts, and then the rest I'm going to let ride. So maybe I get pulled out at open. We'll see. It is above. It was pretty close to the price target that I had, but that would give me $100 profit plus 7 free contracts of SoFi, and they expired January of 2026. So I like the momentum. I think it's a great breakout. I think we pretty much broken out of a monthly candle as well. Nice long-term downtrend. This will eventually pull back, I think, but I also thought that about Palantir, so we'll see. Otherwise, we have some decent plays on this one. Again, I wouldn't be shocked if this one pulls back, retest spot 1563, but one heck of a gap for sure. If it continues, great. Starting my position here would be rough, but we are in it. Soundhounds. That one's already pulling back, but that is a nice gap up too. Obviously, this one's been straight up running as well. But that is the morning bell. So everybody on YouTube, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you have not done so already. Otherwise, you guys are incredible. I'll catch all of you